Hey guys, and welcome back to Studio One with me, Gregor. It won't come as a surprise to many of you that I'm a big synthesizer enthusiast, and one of my favorite things about Studio One is how easy it is to integrate them into a digital setup. I'm gonna show you how to use program change automation to change presets on the fly on your external machines, which can have a drastic sonic effect, of course, depending on what kind of sound you're switching to, and it can be a fun alternative to the regular automation that you might be used to. Of course, the same technique also works with any kind of other synthesizer that uses program change, and hopefully you're going to enjoy it if you're into that kind of workflow. Before we dive into that though, I'd like to show you how I've integrated the synthesizer in question today, which is the Pro 2, that's right behind me, inside of Studio One. I have my own dedicated tutorial covering this if you're interested, but basically what Studio One allows you to do is to use an instrument track like you would on any kind of virtual instrument plugin to sequence MIDI notes to that external synthesizer and then capture the resulting audio without needing an extra track. So the audio that comes back from that instrument, which is hooked up with actual analog audio cables into my audio interface, that is captured here, similarly to how it works in the virtual instrument on a channel in the mixer. But I don't need to see that as an additional obsolete track here in my arrangement to capture the resulting audio. That is all handled in-house for me by Studio One, so to say. And if you like that kind of setup for your own synthesizers as well that you might have in your studio, then definitely check out my dedicated tutorial that shows you how to set this up. I'm gonna link that right here. Today I want to show you how you can use this in practice once it's configured. So in this particular beat that I've whipped up in a couple of minutes here, I have a bass line. That means MIDI notes that are going out from Studio One to my external synthesizer. And I've also selected the preset using the track inspector in Studio One, which is really handy. So I just open this up, the track inspector right here. And then if I pull down this handle right here, then I can show the program and bank parameters, and I can use those to dial in the preset number where my preferred sound is stored on the machine. So for example, I really like the preset 30 of bank 3 on my Pro 2, and it would sound like this. And if I want to switch to a different preset, let's go for a different sound, I can just dial in something like 50. And now I'm triggering preset 50 on bank 3 of my external synthesizer. And usually I would have to get up, go to the machine, dial in preset 50 by hand, sit back down, continue working, then decide that I'd rather have preset 30 after all, stand up again, go to the machine. You get the idea. And it's so cool that I can just do that directly here from Studio One. Now, of course, that preset is also stored together with the song. So as I'm opening this song back up, I have the exact right sound playing from my external synthesizer, which is probably as close to total integration as you can get with these analog beasts. So that's all fair and good, but what if I want to make that program change on the fly? Like let's say that I want to have the first bar played by the preset that I had initially, which was preset 30, and the second half I want to play with a different preset like this one, number 50. Now that's where the program and bank change automations in Studio One come in. So how do we do this? Well, first of all, we need to decide whether we want this preset change automation as a part automation or a track automation. And I have my own dedicated video covering the difference between the two. But to summarize it, a part automation would be an automation that's embedded within this node container here, this event region, right? So it would be an automation that always follows even if I move these nodes around the timeline, regardless of whether automation follows events is active here in the track options, okay? But usually I prefer track automation because that way, even if I remove all of the nodes that I would add afterward would still have the expected sound that are set with the program change automation. It's probably a matter of taste. Both is possible. I gotta show you both methods right now. So to add it as a conventional track automation, you can just hit A on your keyboard and then click on this drop-down menu that you see on the instrument track and then click on Add Remove. Now, in this list that pops up, you should see program change, and you can add that to the list with a double click. And now that's an automation that you have available, and it works just the same as any other automation would. So now you can just add the points here. Like for example, let's say I want to have preset number 30 in the beginning, and then I add another point here on bar 2 and just drag up. And with a right click, I set this to the specific preset value that I want. And in my case, it was 50. And now I have the first bar played by my first preset, which was number 30, and the second half played by number 50. You can also see this in action right now here on my external synthesizer behind me. That's pretty cool, right? So yeah, it has kind of an effect of a very drastic automation because we're literally changing all of the parameters at once as we're switching the preset, but it's super easy to do and can be like an instantly rewarding result, of course. Now, how do we do this same thing with a part automation? Well, to show that, let me first of all remove the program change automation again. We can do that by clicking add remove and then just getting that out of here again. And now if we open up the part, meaning the node container, we see this little button here at the bottom, which shows and hides the automation lanes that are specific to this particular event. And here we can click on these 3 dots that allows us to add or remove automations directly. And here we can also select program change, of course, and also the bank select. Now, one thing that you have to keep in mind, once we double click and add this parameter, is that here, for some reason, I'm not sure why this is, the preset list starts with 0, and both in the track inspector as well as in the track automation, it starts with 1. So in order to get to the same preset as before, you need to deduct 1 because you're starting from 0 and not from 1, which is a little bit silly, of course. Hopefully you can change that at some point. But anyway, if you know it, then it's not really a big deal. So you just enter 29 this time if you want preset number 30. And here we enter 49 instead of 50, okay? And that would give us the exact same result as before, but now that is embedded as MIDI automation within that instrument part. So when we're exporting these notes as MIDI files, the automation is still present exactly on the right position, which is of course very handy sometimes if you're collaborating with others, for instance. So there you have it. As you can see, it's super easy to integrate your external instruments in a digital setup like Studio One and use them with the same convenience, just like your virtual instrument plugins. Thank you for watching.